You got 5, maybe 10 seconds. Clock's ticking. What do?
Simple. I go vertical and inverted. Do a 180 at full throttle, apply brakes, and drop him behind him.
Bang, you're dead.
Once upon a time, an eloquent and often profound gentleman said something kinda unreasonable. Forget your knee-jerk reaction and ask yourself why. Why, Mr. Ebert? We trusted you. You're the only reason I didn't go see Deuce Bigalow European Gigolo. Were you wrong about that too? Ebert never backed down from his core point, though he did concede that he spoke from an insufficient position to make far-reaching claims. The timing of the declaration seems especially strange when you think that a few years ago there could have been much less argument, but it came on a rising tide of innovation and experimentation afforded by expanding user-friendly technology and multiplying release platforms. Video game had never had such a wide umbrella. Ebert was living in the past in this instance, no question there. That said, a decade ago, would he have been right? Chris Roberts was a titan of the video game industry. His contributions had profound effects on the evolution of the medium, and the series that epitomized this contribution was Wing Commander. It helped pioneer enemy AI, reactive soundtracks, branching mission paths, voice acting, and finally full-motion video. By the third Wing Commander game, the cast boasted John Rhys-Davies, Malcolm McDowell, Mark Hamill, and Tom Wilson. By the fourth, they were shooting on film with real sets and a budget of $12 million. But Chris Roberts remained a member of this old world philosophy that Ebert was commenting on. His games pushed boundaries because they strive for one penultimate purpose, to resemble playable movies as closely as possible. This used to be the final interactive frontier. Now it kind of seems passé. Awash in experiments bending physics, geometry, sound, touch, the nature of narrative and complicity, making a game that plays like a movie with adjustments seems like backpedaling. To establish a unique niche, video games are defiantly carving out uncharted territory, which makes something like, well, Uncharted seemed disloyal when it fixes itself to a linear Hollywood-style presentation. Advancement aside, it seemed Roberts' logical conclusion was a movie, confirmed in 1999 with his entrance to the film industry, from which he never looked back. And what an entrance, writing and directing an adaptation of his own hit game series. Unsurprisingly, a messy, borderline unwatchable patchwork of sci-fi and war movie cliches with absolutely nothing revolutionary or even novel about it. Why unsurprising? Context! Wing Commander the game's filmic elements were so novel in their inclusion as to be blindsiding. It was just cool to see a classically niche medium legitimized with real actors and sets. But hindsight being 20/20, take a gander.
And what is it, huh? Is it a smuggler far off the normal space lanes? Maybe a bad smuggler with some nice contraband.
Sorry, boys, I'm just a tourist with a frag nav console. Could you tell me where I am?
Deep in trouble, little tourist. Prepare to be boarded.
Not a chance, pal. Prepare to go to hell.
Yeah, give that guy millions of dollars to make a feature. And not to beat up on Roberts specifically, even now games that garner unanimous critical praise have scripts and performances we wouldn't tolerate for 5 minutes in a Hollywood movie. Look, we all loved Arkham Asylum, but...
He surrendered almost without a fight. I don't like it.
Really?
I know. Joker threatened me. I wanted to stop the experiment.
Seriously?
There's a plant growing deep in Arkham Island. Only it can counter the effects of this Titan strain.
Honestly?
Batman!
No. The biggest problem with Wing Commander, the reason it's such a disappointment, is because of how phenomenally generic it is. It didn't even get the benefit of being some kind of go-for-broke fiasco. It was a Wing Commander game without the game part. And how bad could that have been? Well, exactly this bad. The opening credits lead us through a brief audio history of man's exploration into space, overscored by triumphal orchestration, which, along with the long-awaited title, may have had a young impressionable me in hysterics. Our exploration of the galaxy goes about as well as you'd expect. We colonize and expand until a bunch of big cats ruin our shit because we are just so fucking... something. Tip for screenwriters creating a world defined by a devastating and lengthy war: it's good to go a little further than they don't like us. Oh wait, sorry, this is from the game. One sec. Never mind. Hold on, I'll pause so you can read all the pertinent blue text. Zulu time. What a breathing, fleshed-out world we've come across. And it's about to get its ass handed to it. The giant cats have their creepy glowing night eyes on the Navcom, which will get them access to humanity's interstellar rapid transit system and catapult them, right to Earth. Bombing the shit out of the facility containing the object of their intent seems idiotic, but apparently effective. So, recap. Cats have coordinates for fastest route to Earth. I know, it's pretty complicated. Allow Wing Commander to pour a boiling cup of clarification into your eyes.
Estimated Karaki fleet's position. Projected time of travel to Earth, 40 hours. Locating main Confederation fleet. Estimated time to Earth space, 42 hours.
Their only hope is to mount a counterattack before the enemy fleet can make it to the Earth jump point. The only ship in communication range is the Dinky Diligent on its way to a Confederate battleship with replacement pilots. What? They could walk to Earth from there! On board the Diligent, we meet Christopher Blair and Todd Marshall. Video game, Mark Hamill and Tom Wilson. Movie, Freddie Prinze Jr. and Matthew Lillard. Permanently surprised Blair gets a transmission to personally deliver an encrypted message to the captain of the Tiger Claw. Wait, why him?
Why me?
Yeah, why you?
I fought alongside your father in the Pilgrim Wars. He was a good man.
Oh. I'm as surprised as you terminally are, man. On their way to the Tiger Claw, they pass by some contrived drama in the way of a gravity well. Lay it on thick, boys.
Well, ladies, meet Scylla.
Warning, gravitational anomaly detected.
Bane to sailors and monster of myth.
What is Scylla? Ulysses sailed between the whirlpool Charybdis and the island monster Scylla. She snatched 6 of his men and ate them.
You can pretty much already guess the third act climax beat for beat as Captain Taggart lets Blair exercise supernatural navigation abilities, a result of his pilgrim bloodline traced back to the first interstellar explorers. Blair delivers his message to the captain, and he and Todd hop down to the hangar where it becomes clear that Chris Roberts only understands the idea of a military through the lens of pop culture. It starts innocently enough with some lecherous comments and on-the-nose musical accompaniment.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. You know what I do see? Blonde. Hey, how you doing?
But soon becomes completely overstuffed with the cliches of rambunctious anti-authoritarian soldiers. Also a chance for Roberts to flex those dialogue muscles of his.
Allow me.
You got balls.
You should see them.
Mine are bigger.
I've been told size doesn't matter.
She lied.
Minority love interest of a secondary character. Lady, you may as well wear a shirt with a bullseye on it. Oh wait, this is the mission briefing.
Prepare for the jump.
Okay, here we... Right. Movie. God damn it. Back in the mess hall, the soldiers introduce the most idiotic idea in the movie. When a pilot dies, they act like they never existed so they don't have to deal with the realities of war.
Who the hell do you think you are?
Let me give you a reality check. In all likelihood, you're going to die out here. We're all going to die out here, but none of us need to be reminded of that fact. So you die, you never existed.
Are you shitting me? Hold on. Dear Chris Roberts, are you shitting me? Seriously? The fuck, man? Honestly. Regards, Wing Commander. Note, in the world of Wing Commander's military, orders are only ever given to be refused, rejected, or snidely subverted, because maintaining an interstellar battleship doesn't take discipline so much as a rude tude. Finally, someone gets in a fucking starfighter, but oh no, it's for training purposes only.
Now, if Lieutenant Dibbles had the flying skills of a woman, he'd still be alive.
Gee, I thought he didn't exist. Quick, do something idiotic that would never be tolerated in a functioning military.
Shit!
Delta 2, you are inverted.
In fact, almost 40 minutes into this movie that was entirely built on the promise of seeing spaceships shoot at each other, no such thing has occurred. And when they get past giving Blair some mystical bullshit backstory about his space exploring heritage, giving him super navigation, making everyone prejudiced against him, to get to some real, actual drama for a second, it's a risky hyperspace jump. So, Mr. Roberts, you've thus far had one idea in this movie, and now you've apparently run out. Well, it was 1999, they had to shoehorn in bullet time somewhere.
Mr. Ubutu.
For the last time, that's not his name. On the other side of the jump, they find the remains of a Confederate vessel in an asteroid field, and finally, someone shoots someone.
I got 2 more bogies coming up from the Brown Dwarf. Engaging.
Negative, I count 14 unfriendlies inbound. Looks like 2 destroyers. We're out of here.
No, come on, you were fucked. Oh, God damn it. Lady, you are loading the gun.
Attention. All Baker Wing pilots report to the flight deck. Repeat. All Baker Wing pilots report to the flight deck.
We have a Concom with escorts.
Wow, blatant insubordination in the face of human extinction. Space Geneva Convention calls for a wry smile. And let that be a lesson to you. Oh my god, really? No fooling people shooting at each other?
Mr. Fuck.
This guy's brutal with the nicknames. Okay, whatever, here we go. Oh shit, 50 minutes in, here it comes. know, if you hold an Xbox controller while you watch it. It's okay. They win the battle fairly easily, but in a surprise twist, Todd and his girlfriend disobey a direct order and go after the stragglers. Lady, you are on thin ice, I'm telling you. One crash landing later, she's disposed of, with all the casualness her character would suggest. We turned on the artificial gravity out there just to make that worse for you. Since interstellar war by its own virtue is no excuse for conflict, the Tiger Claw runs out of gas and prompts a risky boarding of a cat ship for fuel cells. Finally, we get our first look at the enemy forces in a redesign that apparently had some fans up in arms. Oh, don't make me choose. Blair, you know, the pilot who for some reason got picked aboard an enemy ship, finds the stolen navcom, which gives them the enemy jump coordinates. This is a cause for celebration. Why is this a cause for celebration? They were your jump coordinates. You already had them. So now they need to get the jump coordinates to Earth's defense fleet so they can meet the alien ship the moment they show up.
So we have a problem. I can't get the drones online.
Without those coordinates, Tolwyn doesn't have a chance.
But they were your... The solution is to send a single fighter through with the message, though he'll have to navigate blind. Sounds like a job for first act telegraphing. Use the Force, Blair.
You have the gift.
I don't think I can. I don't have the faith.
It's not faith, it's genetics.
And thus Chris Roberts beats George Lucas to the sterile demystifying of space spiritualism by a full 2 months. They're running out of time fast. Blair and Angel... Oh, did I never mention her? Tells you something. She's the one giving orders no one follows and counterpointing every authoritarian note with a stupid subversive wink. They make for the Quasar and her ship is disabled.
Are you alright?
Guys? Hello? Humanity in peril.
Well, I might not be dancing for a while.
Time running out.
Alright, hang on. I'm gonna track you back to the ship.
Guys?
No, you're not. You're going on.
Anytime.
We can't both disobey orders.
Oh, that's how it works. As long as they take turns. Blair makes it through the jump point, but he's still out of radio range with the Confederate fleet, and an alien battleship is right behind him. Still mining that one plot device past any reasonable expectation of return, Blair's last desperate plan involves... navigating a death trap. Again! And when I say desperate, I mean it. His plan is to make them chase him into a goddamn black hole and somehow not realize they're doing it. The only way this could reasonably work is if everyone on the enemy ship is literally blind. Look at that thing. Dear Chris Roberts, honestly now, really? Are you... what? No, seriously? Be serious with me. Yeah? Yeah? The Confederate fleet shows up to mow down the rest of the arriving ships, and Blair returns to the Tiger Claw. Angel, being white, survives and is wheeled away in critical condition as triumphal music attempts desperately to make up for a lackluster ending. It's almost too cliche to say, but it's true. Wing Commander really does feel like watching a long-ass cutscene with no gameplay. And the really weird thing is that rather than using the pure narrative form to develop a story more dependent on character and subtlety, Roberts seems to want to dumb everything down. The Wing Commander 4 story involved the socio-political climate of an immediately post-war government, questions about genetic enhancement, civil disobedience, biological warfare, some old dystopian standbys about the need for a perpetual enemy. And I'm not saying it was profound, but at least it had some complexity to it. But in a medium where you're not obliged to tool your story toward necessitating blowing more people up every 5 minutes, what do we get? Aliens are going to Earth to kill us, so we have to get there first and kill them. The only shade of color is the stupid pilgrim mythology, which comes down to people who first explored space became biologically predisposed to interstellar navigation. The specification of a genetic basis for this is incomprehensible, since suggestion that people can actually physically evolve over such a short period is actually less plausible than space magic. So not only is this a cutscene with no gameplay, it's the most simplistic and straightforward one imaginable. It feels much more like a showreel than a movie, a reward for die-hard fans with no expectations beyond seeing familiar scenarios rendered in higher resolutions. But even this gets sidelined by 40 action-free opening minutes trying to convince us that the movie has loftier goals in mind. Either Roberts was crafting a franchise Kickstarter with pure wow factor, in which case he failed because he stuffed too much unnecessary material in, or he was determined to marry a lowbrow concept with emotional and dramatic nuance, in which case he failed because all the characters are so cookie-cutter we couldn't care less about them. Why is it we seem to make cross-medium presumptions about creative types? I mean, guy makes universally acclaimed video games? Yeah, he can probably direct a movie. Guy does astrophysics? Yeah, he can probably handle my open heart surgery. Especially considering the narrative shortfalls of the majority of games, I don't think that analogy is such a stretch. It was never wrong to hope for a decent Wing Commander movie, but it would have been wrong to expect one. Chris Roberts delivered exactly what he predictably should have, a narrative in line with his previous efforts, but devoid of the revolutionary verve he brought to the interactive field. It's not his fault for making Wing Commander, it's the listeners prisoners of the purse string dumping open-heart surgery on an astrophysicist.